What's going on, everybody? What's good? What's good? You see it. I am here. Anyway, we are back. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Back this up a little bit. A little too close for action here. All right, that's better. Anyway, hope y'all doing good. Appreciate y'all. There we go. There we go. So, all right, something dropped, but we good. All right, straight. Okay. Anyway, hope y'all doing well. It's another fine Friday. So unfortunately, I guess if you guys haven't noticed, it's been tough to pull off the NBA wrap up lately. For those who may be tuning in, looking to hear some NBA stuff, we're gonna get into it. But if you're not familiar, my name is Ron. I am a Knicks fan. I do primarily Knicks content. This is nothing but Knicks. But you have tuned into the NBA wrap-up, and we try to do the NBA wrap-up on Thursday nights at 8:30. But unfortunately, the schedule makers have made like every game possible, for the Knicks these past few Thursdays, so haven't been able to do the NBA wrap-up. So I said, you know what? I got to get some content out there, man. Let me try to do a little workaround, right? So we're going to try to do it as much as we can, if it permits, if the scheduling works. So on Thursdays, if the Knicks are playing a game and I can't get the show off on 8:30, then I will try to flip it and do it at 6 p.m. that following Friday. Because I don't want to, I just want to put the content out there, but I also don't want to impede or step on anybody else's toes who already have those slots. So, we'll try it out for today. And hopefully we can get back to our regularly scheduled time and date, going forward. But I already know next week the Knicks play on Thursday again, I believe. So I don't know. It's wild right now. But anyway, shout out to y'all. Appreciate you for tuning in. Hope everybody's doing well. It's a really fun time as usual around the NBA. There's always some stuff going on. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of trade rumors, a whole bunch of crap. You know what I mean? Like, all I can say is just enjoy the ride. Don't believe everything you hear, and don't get too crazy. Thinking about what might be, because you never know what's going to happen. We can't tell. It's all a bunch of speculation. So, shout out to the chat. I know people are starting to funnel in. I know people aren't expecting the NBA wrap up to be right now on Friday at 6 p.m. So it's kind of weird, but appreciate y'all. Shout out to Knicks and Nice. What up, Pudge? Appreciate you. My guy, I am Jarrell in the building. MBK fam, Dope Soul Sports fans, as well as Diehard Giants. So please stay tuned and check him out. I'm sure as we get closer to the NFL season, the NFL draft and all that, you're going to see some coverage come out of Diehard Giants and my guy Jarrell. So stay tuned for that. Wonder Woman is in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. Harlem CEO is here. Salute. We got Joel C in the building. Appreciate you. King Ribby is here. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. Hope everybody's doing good. And also, though, for those, I know it's still getting used to the new format. This is the NBA wrap up where we're going to be covering the NBA, right, on Nothing But Knicks. But if you guys are also interested in the wrap up, which we'll get into, all things hip hop and current events, stuff like that, that is going to be right after this show at 7 p.m. on the Front Stoop. Type in the Front Stoop on YouTube, and you will be able to check that out at 7 p.m. So, we're doing back-to-back shows. Shout out to Kareem Grant. What up, twin? Appreciate you. Kev Guapo in the building. Salute. What's good? Travel Vibes is here as well. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. Oh, also, once again, I'm just, for those who may tune in that are not familiar with me, once again, my name is Ron, but I'm also co-founder of the Still Nick Fans channel. So if you're interested in seeing more of my content, type in Still Nick Fans and you'll find me over there. All right. I think that's enough of the pleasantries. I think I kind of I did what I could do. You know what I mean? Um, but you know what? This is that time, folks. The NBA has released its All-Star reserves, right? Um, and there's some interesting things going on, man. There's some people who got snubbed as always. You know how that works. Um, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm ecstatic about one person getting snubbed. I mean, that's not right, but I don't like him, so no, that's not right. I don't like him though. Um, and yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up right now, so you know, I don't watch the All Star game. Okay, I just don't. I'm with it. I appreciate if guys from my team make it, but I do not care to watch. It's not my thing. You know what I mean? I think the games are hmm. I just I just don't like it. You know what I mean? I think there's not a lot of competition. There used to be some competition back in the day when we had the older stars, the Kobe's, the Jordans, the Magics, the Isaiah Tom, those guys, they used to clown around and have fun in third quarter, but going into the fourth, I mean, 1 through 3. But once it got to the fourth quarter, things got real. And so I really enjoyed those games, but not so much now, man. It's become worse and worse every year. It's like a spectacle. But it is an achievement nevertheless, and it definitely highlights the great achievements of what's going on in the NBA currently. So let's get into what looks like the All-Star reserves. And we'll talk about the starters as well, so you guys know the whole team. But let's start with the starters of the Eastern Conference. So, first off, in the East, this was already announced, so I'm just going over it. I'm not putting anything up for it, but the 2000, I can't even say it. The 2024 NBA All Star Game Eastern Conference starters. Um, let me see. There we go. The starters are Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Halliburton, Damian Lillard, and Jason Tatum. Now, this is the starting five, guys. Okay, so that way you know. Um, and so the reserves are Bam Adebayo, Paolo Banchero, Jalen Brown, Jalen Brunson with his first ever All Star appearance. Shout out to, come on, baby. You know how to wear this just for this. Let's go. Okay, let me calm down. Jalen Brunson with his first ever All Star appearance. Donovan Mitchell. Tyrese Maxey with his first ever All Star appearance. Shout out to Tyrese Maxey. He's been balling all year. And shout out to Nick Nurse for really pushing Maxey to get the best out of him. Unfortunately, they're gonna need a lot, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Um, and Julius Randle, with his third All Star appearance. So that is the reserves. And let me put that up on the screen. I'll put up I'll put them together. I'll put the East and the West reserves up just so you get a good look. Let me move this. Get this out of the way. Boom. So yeah, there's your Eastern Conference reserves and then the Western Conference reserves. You see for the West, they've got Devin Booker, Paul George, Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, Carl Anthony Towns, and Anthony Edwards. So two Minnesota's players on the same team, as well as two Clipper players on the team. Um, and let me just read the starters. Uh, the starters are where is the starters? I just had it in front of me. Just lost it. Ah, here we go. The starters are Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant, Shea Gilgris Alexander, LeBron James, and Nikola Jokic. So two Lakers on the West team, two Clippers on the West team, and two Minnesota Timberwolves on that West team. So, interesting. Obviously, the East has two Knicks, Jalen and Julius, and then hmm, two Bucks for the East, Dame and Giannis, and two Sixers with Joel Embiid and Maxi. Actually, two Sixers and two Boston players, right? Because both Tatum and Brown made it. Wow, these teams really doubling up with the players, huh? That's interesting. I mean, I guess because a lot of these teams are bunching players together now, so it is what it is. I mean, there's the super teams, the Celtics and stuff like that. Um, yeah, this is. I don't think I've. I mean, maybe I don't know if I've seen so many pairs of players on these teams before, or maybe it's always been. I mean, I gotta think about it. But maybe it's been this way. I'm just bugging out now because to think about it, like there's a lot of duos, huh? Well, shout out to them. Um, and so as I was saying, Tyrese Maxey has been doing a lot this go round, and he's gonna have a really heavy burden on his hands because you guys already know, Joel Embiid has tore his meniscus, and so he is out indefinitely, if not for the whole season. Now, with meniscus injuries, you can usually come back from those. Um, I think it's somewhere in between like 6 to 12 weeks, something like that, depending on how you heal. I don't know what's the deal with Joel. I don't know how bad it is. I don't know how that whole works with his timetable. He's always battled injuries, so that's gonna be tough. And obviously Embiid won't play in the All-Star game. Julius Randle won't play in the All-Star game. So it's all about who deserves the spot. So one of the people that I think is getting he's probably I was happy when I found out he wasn't making it, but I know he's gonna get in now, right? So that's the thing. So he was snubbed, but he's gonna get in. So it is what it is. Shout out to Harlem CEO who asked the question. Like Embiid and Jews probably won't play. Who deserves a spot? Facts. Um, so that is the question. And shout out to Daniel Berry Sports and Highlights. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. Glamour Knicks is in the building. Salute. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. And okay, let's see here. Let's see who's the list of people that got snubbed and see who will probably get in now that we know about the injuries, right? So now Anthony Davis hasn't been playing, but I don't think he's injured. I think he's out dealing with something nagging, but I don't think he is out where he won't be available to play. So no one's probably going to be able to take his spot. So that spot is probably still available. Where's my snubs at? Lost my snubs. Huh. Well, I guess we're gonna have to do this live, folks. Let's type in the snubs. NBA All Star 2024 snubs. Here we go. All right. So it looks like Rudy Gobert, Derek White, I'm sorry, Rayford Trey Young, Laurie Markkinen, and Demontis Sabonis. And I guess you could even say De'Aaron Fox, right? So, that is a good question. So we got two spots on the East. Julius and Embiid are both out. I think that's pretty simple, guys, because you go off of the list of the players that I just said, most of them are in the West. And so the two players that I mentioned are probably both going to get in. Derek White, right, from the Celtics. So they'll wind up probably with three. And Trey Young, Rayford Trey Young from Atlanta. He will probably make it. So there you go. It's going to be a weird team because they're replacing guys with height, like a center and a power forward. So I don't know how this all works, but that's probably what's going to happen. It's an all-star game. Who cares anyway? Nobody even cares who wins. So I think that's probably what's going to happen. Derek White will probably get in, and Rayford Trey Young. On the West, I don't know, because let me see, is any of these guys really actually hurt? Because that is the thing. I don't think they're, yeah. Hmm. Mm, mm, nah, these guys look like they're healthy, right? And so that's not looking good for them. Um, yeah, I think if you snubbed in the West, you snubbed. So I don't see anybody. Chat, let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's anybody who can get it replaced on the West side. Yeah. So I guess that's it. The snubs are the snubs. Damn, that kind of stinks though, but it is what it is. Shout out to Brooklyn Butch. Appreciate you. Uh, thank you for tuning in. My guy Shot Powers in the building. One half of Knicks Real Talk with my guy Divine. Salute. Please support their show, man. Knicks Real Talk. Visions is in the building. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Visions. You may be right, man. This might be what I got to do because I don't know what else I could do with these 7 o'clock games on Thursday nights. It's really kind of cramping my style. My stilo is messed up, yo. So I might have to switch it up, but we'll figure it out. Like I said, I'm gonna pay attention to what happens on Fridays. I know the Queen Steph usually comes on at Fridays, but I think she comes on around 8 o'clock or a little later. So I know I'm not gonna be affected her, but I just don't know about the community. I don't really see too much on Fridays, but I'm gonna check it out. Craig is in the building. Salute, Craig. What's good? Appreciate you, my brother. No, I did not hear anything about that, Craig. I did not hear anything about that. So Craig says, you heard about the Rich Paul meeting today with the Knicks. Do you think Murray might be a Knick real soon? Hmm. Yeah, I did not hear about that. I mean, listen, if I'm being honest, shout out to HP Carlos. Salute Knicks Nation. He says, "Okay, thanks, Jarrell." So yeah, I'm cooking right now. At least I know I'm not affecting the Queen. Her show is on at 9 tonight, and Jarrell would know because he's on it. Salute to you, my brother. Um, appreciate you all the way from Portugal tuning in as always. Thank you. I don't know, Craig. It's on Bleacher Report. Okay, cool. I don't know. I don't know what that means. So if I'm being honest, I hope what it means is that they're talking so that we can have an ongoing relationship in the future with Clutch Sports and CAA, and we can break that barrier of tension, right, between the two. Um, and also, if that is the case, maybe it's not necessarily a DeJounte Murray thing. Maybe shout out to Morning Brew Sports and my guy Hector. Maybe it would be something like what he said with his trade scenario where we would get involved with the Brooklyn Nets, for example, in a three-team trade where DeJounte Murray would go to Brooklyn and we would send picks and Fournier for the money and whatever else we have to send. Maybe Grimes, maybe not Grimes. I don't know. Um, and that would go back to Atlanta, and Brooklyn would send something to Atlanta, which would also help us. Maybe we wouldn't have to send Grimes out. Maybe we could keep Grimes, and we would just have to send a couple picks or whatever. I mean, more than just a couple, but maybe three. And Brooklyn would send whatever they send, and we work it out. But maybe it would be something where we just comfortable being able to work together, and maybe DeJounte would go to Brooklyn, Macau would come to the Knicks, and Atlanta gets whoever Atlanta gets. I don't really care. Whoever Brooklyn would give them, the Knicks would give them Fournier and whatever else we needed to give. That would be great. I would love to see that, because I'll be honest with you, as much as I initially wanted DeJounte, I don't know, bro. I don't know if he would be happy with the Knicks, to be honest. I really think he wants playing time. I really think he wants to be the man, and he should want to feel that way. I mean, he's a really good player, very talented. So I just think that I don't know. I don't know. I worry about if he came to the Knicks, if he wouldn't be happy here. Yes, he'd be on a winning team. We're playing good, really good basketball right now, and he'd have a chance if he came in to win a championship, I think. But I just don't know if he'd be happy here. Now, he would be a nice you know, alternative just in case after next year, if Julius decides to opt out and he leaves, we would have Brunson still here, hopefully, and have a DeJounte could stay and take on a bigger role. All right, and then we can go out and get somebody else to help round out the rest of the roster. But I just don't know. DeJounte to me seems like I don't know if that post that we read that was out there about what he said is if that's real. He seems like he's fed up. You know what I mean? And we also don't know how DeJounte would work with Brunson, because Brunson is the guy over here, and DeJounte has to know if he comes over here, Brunson is the guy. So I don't know, but we'll see what happens, man. Either way, if the Knicks are talking to Clutch, it's not a bad thing, in my opinion. As long as you keep LeBron James away from the Knicks, I'm cool. I'm good. um, yeah, I know. It is interesting, Glamour Knicks. You're right. The week from trade deadline. Yeah. And the Knicks are looking real good around the league right now. They see what we doing with Julius and with OG. And then now you see us winning with OG, Julius being out, and then Grimes being out the other day too. And we still beating a team like Indiana. I don't care if Halliburton was on a minutes restriction. He still played 22 minutes. He contributed, a good amount of points and assists. And they still had other guys, the full roster. Pascal Siakam is there now. He wasn't there before. When the Knicks lost to Indiana, now they got Pascal. You know what I mean? So I don't like that excuse for Indiana, should I say? No, cut it out, Pudge. Don't do that. Cut it out. I think Windhurst or Woj, one of them already said that LeBron is not getting traded. He's not going anywhere. And I don't want LeBron. I'll be honest with you. One, I don't want him because he had his chance to come to the Knicks twice and he chose not to. He even did it from our backyard in Connecticut. He said, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach, Miami." Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Okay. Then, wait, this is the NBA report. I'm sorry. I'm hitting you with all my Knick anger, but I'm still trying to be impartial. Then, apparently, when he was about to sign with the Lakers, he was considering signing with the Knicks and chose not to. Because what? We wasn't sexy. We wasn't bubbling. Now we hot. That best thing since sliced bread. Now you want get out of here. Nah, I'm good. Deuces. That's okay. Stay where you at, B. Keep cultivating that Laker roster over there. I'm sorry. Can't help it. Um, Craig says, hold on. They said they fixed their relationship issues they had before and are ready to move on. Good. Good. Because that's better for the Knicks and it's better for the NBA. Because it's stupid when two rival agencies who control most of the players in the NBA are going against each other. It's dumb. And I'm surprised that Adam Silver would even let that happen. You know what I mean? Like, what about the health of and the prosperity of your league? Like, you can't have that. Whatever. Kevin Middleton is in the building. Salute. It's the Knicks Nation salute. Appreciate you. Corey Lee is in the building. What's good? One half of the 718 boys. Blawrence Tears. Sundays at 10 a.m. Please tune in and show them some love. What's good, Corey? Okay, let me see here. Yeah, I'll never forget that travel vibes. That I'm telling you, if you want to talk about how old was I when that happened? I don't know. I was young enough that I was devastated. I was pissed. Ooh, I could not forget that. I'm like here watching the press conference. I'll never forget that, man. When he said that, I was done. Good thing I'm not one of those people that likes to destroy my own stuff. Because if I was, stuff would have been flying. But so that was younger days. We passed that. He says, let me get this out of here. I forgot, my fault, guys. This has been up for a minute, man. Y'all like, where's Ron at? Lost in the sauce, B. I'm back. There I am. Hold on. Green screen tripping. There we go. Curb coming, Captain coming. There we go. Harlem CEO said, Ron, what if the price is cheap for Braun? I still say no. I'll be honest with you. You know why? Because if LeBron James was at a different stage in his mindset, right? And he was willing to come off the bench and help the team, I would be okay with it. You know what I mean? The problem is LeBron James is a superstar. You know what I mean? He may not be at the top of his game right now, but he's still a very talented player who still puts up really good numbers compared to a lot of people in the league. And he's 39 years old or whatever he is. A guy like that doesn't know how to turn it off. You know what I mean? It's the same issue that happened with Carmelo Anthony. People were concerned everywhere, like, oh, can we bring Carmelo Anthony to our team? Knicks as well, but other teams too. Like, will Carmelo Anthony be comfortable taking a lesser role and not feeling like the star player that he thinks he still is? The LeBron James is still putting up really good numbers, right? And so he can still look at himself as a star player. I don't think he's a superstar anymore, but he's a star player, right? But for the Knicks to win, they need everybody to take a back seat, right? To each other, like they all got to big up each other and understand, like, this is how we're gonna win. This guy needs to go off. This guy needs to play that role. This guy needs to play. So right now, this team is Jalen Brunson's team. If somebody's gonna go off, it's Jalen Brunson. Julius already knows that. He'll go off when he goes off, but he knows Jalen Brunson is that dude. He's that switch. You know what I mean? LeBron James comes in here. LeBron James, this is the Mecca. This is New York, right? He puts on that Knick uniform. He's going to start feeling like, oh, I got to let people know I'm still LeBron James. At the night when you want a big shot, LeBron wants to hit it. He used to be the guy who would pass the ball. Now he wants to hit that big shot. We don't need LeBron to hit that big shot with the Knicks. We need Jalen Brunson to hit that big shot. You know what I mean? LeBron needs to support him. He needs to support Julius or take over if Julius ain't got it. But you know what I mean? LeBron has to understand that Jalen is the man now. Build through Jalen. And I just don't think he's ready for that. You know what I mean? Plus, he also is a very competitive dude. Comes to New York, he wants to be the dude to bring New York a championship. And that's how it's all going to look. So, shout out to Morning Brew once again. They was talking about it earlier today. I don't want him to come in here and take all the credit. Like, this team has been struggling for years. Nobody wanted to come here. Oh, the Knicks ain't sexy. They don't have a hip culture. They don't have this. They don't have that. Now, all of a sudden, we bring in Jalen Brunson. We bring in Josh Hart. We bring in OG Anunoby. We're playing better basketball. Our culture is different. Tibbs has pieces. So his vision is starting to come to life. Now you want to come here and then take all the credit like you were here to build it? No. I'm done. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I can't move on from it. I'm very passionate about that. I see. Um, Shout out to Fly God in the building. Salute my guy, aka C underscore Mac in the building. Space Ghost is in the building. Salute. What's good? Um, let me see. Uh, okay, I think I got everybody. All right, cool. And yeah, I mean that crowd last night was bugging, bro, bugging. Um, no, no, no. We're not too good for LeBron. He's just not the right person for us to have. Like we already talked about before. We talked about getting we the Knicks are in a spot right now where they don't even know if they want another star type player. And that's just being honest. Yeah, I'm not saying something that's crazy. You can see it. The Knicks have been playing good basketball and beating teams, right? Of course, they're beating teams that they should beat, right? But even when they play good competition, the Denvers, the Miami, they're beating these teams with who they got. Do the Knicks need something a little extra to make up for what we're lacking, some ball handling or some extra scoring off the bench? Fine. But you don't want to upset the chemistry that this team, after what I saw the other day with the Knicks beating Indiana, that shorthanded, playing basically seven guys and having to get their offense primarily from Brunson and DiVincenzo, looking at how tired those dudes was, struggling all game to thug it out and try to win the game, making big stops and big plays down the stretch just to get closer, inching, being down all game basically, and to finally overcome it at the very end and then take the lead and then hold on to the lead. Mm-mm. You can't throw another star in there and mess up that chemistry. This team fights for each other right now. Now, if the Knicks wind up doing it, God bless. I hope it works out. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm gonna be happy either way. But I just think they're really thinking about what's the move to make because they don't want to upset what they got going on right now. Sometimes you can go all in and mess everything up. And right now, I think the way they're playing, what they got going on, you just need to bring in somebody that can give you what you're missing, right? Because when you get into the playoffs, that's when it's really going to matter. Or when you play a team that you don't really match up with well, Milwaukee is still a little iffy. I still think we can beat them, but our matchup with them is a little iffy. Orlando's a little iffy, and Boston is iffy, right? We're talking about the East. But other than that, there's no other team that worries me in the East that I think we can't match up with. And so that's what I think the Knicks have to gear towards, making sure they can beat these teams so they can come out the East. Once you get to the finals, anybody's game, you know? All right. So, Mega NYK is in the building. What's good, Mega? Appreciate you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. I think I feel like I shouted you out, but maybe I didn't. David is in here. Two Davids, two times. I hear you, brother. I'm not rocking with him. Yeah, yeah. We got to move on from that. Thank you, Corey. I'm with you. Yeah. Imagine being the king of New York at the highest level, right? Yeah, it was beautiful, bro. It was beautiful. Rome Fall Rock is in the building. Salute. What's good? No Cap Life Analyst is in the building. He says, slow down. Definition of being caught up in the moment. Nobody on this team has done or won nothing to warrant turning down LeBron. It's just change the subject, please. You are wrong, sir. I agree that we are not at the point where we can start pounding our own chest like we've won anything. But that's not what you do. You don't. First off, LeBron is not the savior for any team. So if LeBron was the savior, then he wouldn't be wanting to get out of his own team, would he? Right? Then they would be winning over there. You can't just think that because you're close to winning a championship and doing things the right way, having a team that actually cares about each other. Talk about what the Villanova boys are you want, but they do care about each other. And these other guys that are still on the team have bought in. Julius likes his team, and you can see by his actions, right? The rest of these guys, apparently they're a really good bunch over there. They love playing with each other. Why would you want to bring in another guy like a LeBron James who has been used to calling all the shots everywhere he's been and is used to being the man and everybody defers to him? Why would you want to bring that type of influence into this Knick team that's already playing really well and believing in each other? And they'll go to war for each other. They'll play 40 plus minutes for each other. If their leg is hurting, oh well, we'll just play through the pain. That's how this team is looking right now. Why would you want to upset that and bring in LeBron James? I just don't see it. I'm not saying that the Knicks are too good to bring in a player that can help them win the championship. I'm telling you, LeBron James is the wrong person. You bring in Jason Tatum. I'm not turning down Jason Tatum. I'm telling you, LeBron James is the wrong person. Okay. It's a different style of thinking. He's a different player, and he's used to being the man. He'll pass the ball to you because that's what he does. But I'm telling you, he is the dude. He wants to be the guy. He's the orchestrator of his own universe. He's not the right guy for us. Plus, once again, I'm going to say it again. As Knicks fans, we got to stop uh, cowtailing and acquiescing. There's other words, but I don't want to use Sim just got monetized again. We got to stop, doing stuff to be appreciated and be the it thing. You know what I mean? We can be the it thing on our own and figure out who best fits us, but don't just go find. We don't need the Durants. We don't need the LeBrons. They had their chance to come here. We tried to wow them and woo them and all that good stuff, and they chose otherwise, right? And then we've tried to do it again, and they still chose otherwise. LeBron told you, yeah, I considered it the second time around, but it is what it was. Durant told you the second time around, I'd never even considered the Knicks. So I don't know what we're doing. Why do we do that as fans? So stop. Leave these guys alone. Let them do that thing where they're at. We'll do our thing where we're at. You know what I mean? They could watch us, and hopefully we do good enough that one day they'll say, you know what? I had a chance to be with the Knicks, but it didn't work out, or at the time I didn't see the vision. That's what I want those players to say. But I hear you, no cap. I'm not saying we're too good for them, but they're not the right fit for us. And really, you know what, we can do better. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you take a step back to take a step forward. Sometimes a lesser player is exactly what you need. You need guys that can run through walls for you. You need guys who buy in and believe. Sometimes, that's what works. Shout out to Endgame. Appreciate you. He says I was at the crowd yesterday. It was an electric atmosphere for sure. I bet it was, man. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, the refs definitely stink. All right. Oh, that's not surprising. Salute, JJ. Was good. Appreciate you. Greg says apparently Rich Paul used to work under Rose at CAA and hated it, so he created his own agency. Took LeBron James with him, who was a CAA player. Yeah, that was the beef. I didn't know. I knew that Rich Paul wound up creating, obviously, Clutch, and well, not creating, but I guess maybe he did create it. And took LeBron, but I didn't necessarily remember if he worked under Leon. But yeah, I mean, it still makes sense that that was an issue. BOB in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. Or just Bob. We surveyed 100 people's in the building. Salute. Um, we haven't seen this squad at full strength yet. You think our defense is good now? Wait for Mitch to come back. 100%. I agree. Rico 3 said, well said. Thank you. Nixon Nice says LeBron leaving the Lakers anyway. Bob B.O.B. He says stop daydreaming. You're probably not a Knicks fan. Something's telling me that. I don't know what team is yours, but hopefully we cover it. All right. So that is it, and that is that. I wanted to touch on some other things. Trying to keep. I got about 20 minutes or so left. I want to keep to my schedule, and I want to get over to the front stoop to start doing the wrap up. But there's a couple things going around in the league. Obviously, we touched on LeBron, and it's already come out that LeBron James is not getting traded, so we can put that to the bed unless something changes. But he's not going anywhere right now. So that's that. So let's not think about that. Let's not stress it, guys. Don't get ourselves all caught up in some more speculation and some more stuff to talk about to deflect from what we got going on here, because we got some good stuff going on in New York right now. Let's enjoy it. And the haters going to hate, and we just got to keep doing what we're doing. They'll come around. I'm already seeing some new Knicks fans I never saw before. You know who you are. um so and speaking of that, Obviously, I guess just to point it out, if you didn't already know, the New York Knicks are the hottest team in the NBA right now. They are winners of 9 in a row. You know what I mean? They have won 15 out of their last 17 games. And they're cooking. They're cooking, 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 cooking. All right. It's a beautiful thing right now. The team is just clicking on all levels. Even the backups to the backups are coming in and contributing and doing what needs to be done. The game yesterday, it was really nice to see. As I already mentioned, Jalen stepped up and dropped 40 because he knew he needed to. Dante has been taking more shots, but he's forced to because he knew we didn't have enough firepower. He's contributing what he's contributing and playing well on defense, doing hustle. The one thing about this team, they hustle, right? This is my hustle Knicks this year. They hustle. We out there hustling. Shout out to Deuce McBride, man. Deuce McBride has played some really good minutes. All that time that Tom Thibodeau. Oh, wait. Am I giving Tom Thibodeau credit for not playing Deuce and maybe helping develop him? Well, maybe. I'll give him this. At least they didn't let him sit on the bench. You know what I mean? At least they allowed Deuce to go down to the G League each year and play games with that team and really get to doing some stuff to help with his game, right? I'll give them that. But it looks like Deuce is finally at the point where he can be a contributor to this team. I'm not saying he's ready to take the torch in the playoffs and be that second in command, but he is good enough right now that he can contribute. And sometimes there's moments where we might need Deuce out there because Deuce got that defense when he gets locked in. And I really haven't seen a lot of it this year, but the last couple games, Deuce has been back on that defense grind, and I'm seeing him get after it. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Knicks once again, the hottest team in the NBA since 2024 has began. They are rocking and rolling. You just can't say enough about them. And I also want to say, you know what I mean? I don't want to stop the train from going because it's looking beautiful right now. But the new mantra, at least on my end, is all heart, no quit. That is my 2024 mantra for these New York Knicks. All heart, no quit. I gotta work on putting the shirts together and get the merch out. I'll see what I can do. I'm working on it. But all heart, no quit. That's what this team is, man. You could see it out there, and it's great just watching Jalen Brunson's press conference talking about how we don't want to we keep fighting, we keep fighting. All heart, no quit. It's wonderful. Really great to see. Really great to see, man. I can't say enough. Let me see where we're at here. Uh uh okay. All right. I see what you have. I got you, Bob. Bob. My bad. All right. You rocking with us. Um He said, "We are good. Our only battle is health." That's a fact. But you know what? That's the thing. So going back to the whole thing about whether we're good enough to stay where we're at or should we add something to the mix, that's the thing. I think that's what we have to worry about because these guys are playing a lot of minutes, right? And health could be an issue. So sometimes in that case, you do want to go out there and make a move to have some insurance because if we did have, so what happens if Julius comes back and he gets a setback or he comes back and he's not really quite himself for a while. It would be nice to have somebody to help pick up some of that Julius Randle slack, you know what I mean, in scoring somehow. God forbid, knock on wood. What if something happens with Jalen Brunson? You know what I mean? He's putting his body on the line for this team. People kind of compare him to Allen Iverson. You remember how Allen Iverson went through it. You remember this guy was getting hurt and banged up and beat up. You know what I mean? It would be nice to have a little insurance. It doesn't have to be DeJounte. It could be a Malcolm Brogdon. It could be whoever, but it'd be nice to have a little insurance. Some of these price tags for some of these players is a little steep, though. Apparently, I think I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel about it. The price tag I think to trade for Brogdon, Portland wants they would want Fournier and they would want a first round pick. Maybe that's not that bad. I don't know. DeJounte's price is high. Mikal Bridges is apparently not on the market, but if the price is right, I mean, we throw them 5 first-round picks. I'm sure he's coming over to New York, but I don't think the Knicks want to do that. It's a little wild. Yeah, man. So I don't know. Yeah, the bandwagon stuff is starting to happen. Don't worry, you'll see more and more of it. As long as the Knicks keep it going. Shout out to the art man formerly known as Steve. Thank you for the generous contribution. He said, no, Bron, please. We have a solid core right now. DeJounte works because look at how Devo plays next to Brunson. Plenty to go around. Question, do you let Hartenstein finish the season even if Mitch comes back healthy? Once again, thank you for the generous contribution, my brother. I would say if we get no, because there's no way around it. You know what I mean? What I would say is the if we got DeJounte Murray, then he has to start, right? But maybe they make it so that even though DiVincenzo doesn't start, he still plays 25 minutes. You know what I mean? Like quickly. Quickly didn't start, but he still played in between 25 and 30 minutes on a given night, depending on what the Knicks needed. Those minutes are all there for Dante. You know what I mean? So do that. If we have to do it that way. Because the Knicks might do it. I don't know. I mean, they're talking for a reason, but I don't know. And then do you let Hartenstein has to finish the season. Not only does Hartenstein finish the season as the starter, but if the Knicks re-sign him, I'm sorry, Mitch. I love you, brother. But Hartenstein is the starter now. He's got too much going on in his game to not have him be the starter. He's got the rebounding, he's got the defense, he's got a hell of a motor, and he moves the ball. When he's out there, the Knicks move the ball well. Like it doesn't stop with him. No knock to Mitch, but Mitch hasn't shown that he can really facilitate and move the ball that way. I'm not saying he can't. He just hasn't been in a position where we've seen that side of his game really flourish. So I got to stick with Hartenstein. And it really shouldn't matter that much because if you guys remember, even when Mitch was starting, Thibodeau would still play Hartenstein in the fourth quarter of games when he needed to, and Mitch would be on the bench. I hope everything's still going good, guys, because I'm just looking at my signal strength all of a sudden, and it is looking really slow. Okay, it's starting to pick back up. Hopefully, it doesn't really affect the stream, but I appreciate you guys. So once again, thank you so much, man. The art man, formerly known as Steve, my brother in the building. Worldwide L is here. Salute. He said, I am so hyped. I hear you, brother. I'm with you. Shout out to you, bro. Worldwide L, is on the For the Love of the Game podcast with my guy Hardwell. If y'all haven't checked that out, please do. You know what I mean? The number 4 OUR, Love of the Game, on YouTube. Westchester Deuce. I love that. Ruben Nunez is in the building. He said LeBron had his chance. He chose the Heat over us and then didn't again when he chose the Lakers over. Facts. That's what I'm saying. It is what it is. Appreciate you, Ruben. Thank you for being here. Dripmore is in the building. The preferred barber of still Knicks fans and the Knicks community is in the building. Let's go. Let's go. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to figure it out, bro, because part of the reason why I'm putting it out there like this is so y'all all see it, right? So if somebody steals it, y'all know where it was. Y'all see where it came from. That's why every chance I get, every show, because I know once I mentioned it, I'm like, I better mention it everywhere. Salute D Coolest. What's good? Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Kerry Cox is in the building. What's good, my brother? Appreciate you. Michael Drake is in the building. Salute, Michael. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I hear you, Corey. But I don't think, like I said, I just think it makes more sense for the team, and I don't think it's going to affect Mitch. Mitch and Hartenstein are really, really close. They're apparently really close. I didn't know that they were that close, but apparently they're really close. So I think they both want each other to win, and I think he understands what's going on with this team. And he's already got his money. He already got paid. He knows the Knicks stood by him. I think he'll just be happy to play his role and still be a part of what we got going on. So I think Mitch will be fine coming off the bench as long as he gets minutes to play and contribute and is called on, I think he'll be okay with it. Salute to Animal Lex. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for being here. All right, let me get back to this rapid fire because we are coming up on the 7 o'clock time frame. Once again, guys, as I said, at 7 o'clock, I'm going over to the front stoop where I will be doing the wrap up and getting into hip hop talk and all that good stuff. So appreciate you guys. Jay from PR is in the building. Salute, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here and rocking. So a couple other things real quick before we get out of here. First off, there was a trade that took place, guys. I don't know if you guys heard about it. But there is a player on the move. He's not healthy. I think he's out for the whole season, but it's still a trade nevertheless. You know what I mean? Steven Adams, he is out of here, folks. He has been traded to the Houston Rockets. Right. So he was traded for 3 picks, I believe, 3 second rounders. What? Hold on. I wrote that wrong. Sorry, I'm writing quickly. Rockets. There we go. He was traded to the Rockets for Victor Oladipo and 3 picks. I think they were all second rounders. Let me just double check here. So, yeah, the Rockets get Steven Adams and the Grizzlies get Victor Oladipo, 2 2024 second round picks, and 1 2025 second round pick. So 3 second round picks, Victor Oladipo traded to Memphis for Steven Adams. Yeah, so that's your trade buzz right there, folks. That's what has taken place. I'm a little surprised that Memphis has decided to move on from a guy who was the number 1 offensive rebounder in the league, um, uh, ahead of Mitch, and then obviously Mitch has surpassed him. But I'm kind of surprised, man. But I guess what does that mean? Is Memphis kind of thinking about where they are right now? Are they thinking that maybe they need to blow it? No, they're not going to blow it up, but are they thinking they need to retool? Who knows? Who knows? Let's see what their NBA standings. Memphis is currently 18-30. Yeah, they're definitely going that other direction. They're 16 games out of first place. They may be thinking about, possibly retooling. I don't think they're not like a retool / rebuild, but like a light one. They're not going to blow it all up. They're not trading Bane and I don't think so. At least I know they're keeping Ja. Ja's not going anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe who knows. We'll see what happens over there. That's interesting to watch. That does help, right? The knowledge right now to help Sengun would be definitely dope, Bob. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Mega says they were retooling around Ja, JJJ, and Bane. That makes sense. And I mean, the thing is, Kerry, then they don't even have to tank because Steven Adams is out for the year. He's been out for the year already. So he doesn't really affect them if he's not there or if he is there. But they definitely are going the opposite direction. You said that right. Yeah, JJ says I think they're keeping the core players. Yeah, so they just might be retooling a little bit. They're not rebuilding. Karma for trading Brooks. Interesting. All right. So I got one more quick thing to go over right now, and this is kind of a tough one. You know what I mean? I haven't heard anything about it today, that is, and it's kind of sad when you think about it. So, I hope something happens with it, but I'm not feeling good about it, man. The time is really running out. If you guys don't already know, you're familiar with Tony Snell. Tony Snell is one of those players that has been he was a journeyman in the league. He's currently not in the league. right? He never really reached his full potential. He had always had some game. He goes down in history as one of the weirdest stat lines. I don't remember how many minutes he played, but he played a certain number of minutes, right? And he's known for having zeros across the board, like 0 rebounds, 0 points, 0 assists, zero, like zeros, right? And he played a good amount of minutes in the game. And he just did nothing. So that's kind of like goes down in the history uh, of the NBA. It's a meme out there that's been around forever. But yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like right now, oh, did I just? Oh yeah. Right now, Tony Snell has two kids that have autism. And unfortunately, that can be really expensive to deal with the care for any child that has any type of issue that they may be born with, dealing with, that's of any type of health concern. And he's got two kids, and you know, apparently today is the last day that he can be signed to a roster, an NBA roster, and get credit for playing at least for being on a roster for at least 40 games to be entitled to get the 10-year veterans NBA veterans benefit that would allow him to have continued health care. You know what I mean? So to me, this is kind of messed up that no team, there's a lot of teams out here, and I'm sure, you got somebody that's taking, you got 15, players on your team, and obviously somebody's got a spot. But I don't know. I don't know how it's a tough one, man. I just really feel like it's sad that, at least one team wouldn't be able to offer him a spot. But it does mean letting go of somebody, which that sucks. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it'd be really nice for a journeyman, an older player, to just say, "Listen, I'm gonna give up my spot and allow you guys to sign Tony Snell if you'd be willing to do it, just so he can get that and be able to take care of his family." It's tough though. I just don't see it happening, but it would be nice. But shout out to Tony Snell and his family. I wish him the best. I hope something happens in the NBA. I wish there was some type of exception that could be made, um, that would allow him to be able to qualify for that some other way. Adam Silver, come on, man. You got one of the best leagues in the world. You are one of the best commissioners. Figure out a way to make this happen, man. Just that to me, like I hear about all this other stuff. Oh, this league is fantastic. It does this, or this league does this, and look at the fans, and we love the game is beautiful. Show me, do something like this, because that really shows that you're a league that is about something, in my opinion. I mean, everybody has their own story. You know what I mean? There's like every day there's a Tony Snell of the world that we don't hear about. You know what I mean? So I don't want to say it like every time something comes up, you got to be able to do it. But in this particular case, I figure there's something that the NBA could do to help Tony Snell out. It just seems like it would be the right thing to do. I thought about that, Pudge. I I just don't know who the Knicks would let go in order for that to happen. Um, you know, that's tough. There is one guy. See, the problem is also the Knicks are trying to win, right? And they need space in order to possibly do a trade. They can't do that. They can't be willing to take on a Tony Snell because they don't know if they're going to need the space. You know what I mean? But I could see them doing that. Possibly. I could see that. I could see a guy like Taj saying, "You know what? I'll leave, bring in Tony Snell just so he can get." I could see that. I really could. I'm not saying it can't, but I could see it. But right now, the Knicks are trying to make a trade, and they need to have flexibility with their roster because they don't know who might go or who might not go. You don't know what's going to happen. So the Knicks are probably not the right team. It would be a nice story. But you know what? The Brooklyn Nets might be the right team. What they got going on over there? They got 15 guys over there that you definitely need to be there. I don't know. Just saying. Just saying. Or maybe Chicago. Like Chicago ain't going nowhere. If anything, they're going to be tanking. They're going the opposite way. They should do it. But who's their owner? What, Jerry Krause or Reinsdorf? I forgot who it is. And that guy's always had a bad reputation of being, cheap with the money, so whatever. I'm not surprised. That's who should do it. Chicago. Tony Snell's wife is on Basketball Wives Orlando. Shout out to RD Barn. Appreciate that. The Hornets. Yeah, they're another team that's in. The Wizards. There's teams out there that could do the right thing. You know what I mean? They ain't going nowhere. The Pistons aren't going nowhere. And Tony Snell ain't going to affect wins for them. They're definitely going to get that number 1 pick, most likely. They tanking. Well, anyway. All right, guys. Well, that's my show. I'm already late. I got to get over to the front stoop and get that cracking over there. So if y'all want to, come over and support us talking hip-hop on the front stoop, my boy Eru is probably going to be over there chopping it up with me. So by all means, feel free to pop over. We'll be chopping that up for the next hour. Keeping you guys busy until 9 o'clock when you can go to Dope Soul Sports Talk and see the Queen Steph and Ajay and Jeff and Jarrell and whoever else may be there tonight. Appreciate you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night. The NBA is going to be pretty fun, man. That All-Star game, if you like watching it, should be cool. But right now, I know one thing. These New York Knickerbockers are balling, and I'm just enjoying every minute of it. You know what I mean? So I'm out of here. Later. Oh, and also, don't forget, 7 o'clock right now, over to the front stoop. Check us out over there, me and Eru. Saturdays, Know the Ledge. 11:30, we're going to talk about all things Knicks. We're going to give you a pregame, get you ready for the game. It should be pretty fun. I'm excited. We got them Lakers coming into town, so it should be interesting. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, OG Anunoby's back. Monday night, once again, tune in for SKF Weekly with myself, my brother, John, my brother, Jose. That's a call-in show now, guys, so you guys can call in on Monday nights now. And you can also jump on the live panel. We're taking one guest at a time for the live panel, but we're also taking phone calls. So that's the new revamped flow of the Monday night show. So please tune in, show your love for that. And I appreciate you guys. Okay, now I'm really out. All right, laters. Run that.